never imagined that a single whisper could dismantle the life I thought I understood. It began when I noticed her, my wife, slowly pulling away from me. At first, I chalked it up to stress or exhaustion. But days became weeks, weeks became months. Every hug, every attempt at closeness, was met with a cold shoulder, a gentle push, or a look that tightened my chest with quiet pain. It wasn't merely rejection. It felt intentional, almost punitive, like I had unknowingly done something unforgivable. For months, I tried everything. I sent flowers, planned candlelit dinners, slipped love notes into her purse. Nothing changed. She smiled politely, thanked me, but her gaze remained distant, like a storm I could never touch. I felt like a stranger in my own home, a slow, painful isolation eating away at me. Then one evening, everything shifted. She invited her best friend over, saying they had a lot to catch up on. I assumed it was harmless, but as I passed the living room, a whisper froze me in my tracks. Her friend leaned in close, murmuring something softly, almost inaudibly. Yet I saw the effect immediately. Her lips parted, her expression shifted, and those eyes, I'll never forget those eyes. They softened, almost melted. The barrier she had erected around herself began to crumble. That night, for the first time in months, she touched me. Not awkwardly, not absent-mindedly, but intentionally, as if rediscovering something she had been missing. The sudden contrast was staggering, overwhelming, even frightening. I couldn't stop thinking, what did her friend say? Why now? The next day, I confronted her. She hesitated, avoided my gaze, then admitted that her friend had reminded her of the vows she made on our wedding day, the promises to nurture our love, the care she had let slip away. In a few whispered words, someone else had reignited the spark she had allowed to die. But then it hit me. If a stranger's words could influence her in a matter of seconds, it meant my voice had been ignored for months. That truth hurt far more than her coldness ever had. Anger began to simmer, not just at her, but at myself, for allowing it to drift so far. I started paying attention, observing, listening, learning. Every word, every gesture I had offered that she had ignored, I catalogued. Gradually, I shifted my approach. No more desperate attempts, no more pleading. I became composed, confident, and most importantly, attuned to her triggers. I discovered how to make her feel valued and respected without overwhelming her. I realized intimacy wasn't solely physical. It was emotional, mental, and sometimes strategic. Weeks later, she came home visibly upset. I stayed quiet, giving her the space I had learned she needed. Then, without warning, she reached for my hand, tentative, testing the waters. I held it firmly, patiently, and waited. Almost breathlessly, she whispered, "I forgot what it felt like to feel safe with you." In that instant, I understood the lessons of timing, patience, and awareness. The whisper from her friend hadn't just unlocked her. It exposed how far I had drifted from being the partner she needed. Bitter but necessary. By the month's end, our relationship had transformed. Physical closeness returned naturally, accompanied by laughter, late-night conversations, and the feeling of truly being seen by someone who knows every corner of your heart. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming the love, respect, and trust buried beneath months of neglect. And now, whenever I look at her, I remember that whisper. Not with bitterness, but with awe. A few words can change everything and remind you of what you almost lost.